Yo.
He would do some shit like that.
Ya, papi.
Probably fucked up the level.
¿Tú te crees, papi?
Probably.
Nah, not really. We good. We
Okay.
chilling. We
Alright.
straight.
Alright.
We is straight.
We off a bit here, man. No strings attached. We in the building, man. It's on a Wednesday night. You know what we do? We get it in, man. This is a show we talk about relationships, pop culture, all that fly stuff. You did. We allow everybody to express themselves in their most organic state. That's the most important part of the show. Down there, we got the homeboy Blake kicking it with us.
Hi there.
All right. Over there, we got my main man Lionel.
What's good, y'all? I hope y'all are having a positive, poppin', productive Wednesday.
Positive
Hey, the
vibes
triple Ps.
only.
Fuck out of here with all that positivity.
Right.
3 P's. Positive, poppin', productive.
Right here, they
Motivational
go.
ass.
We got Sister Mo right here next to me on my
Well, they
left.
keep calling me Sister Mo. but
Yeah.
I'm here, y'all.
So
That's
that's
your name, right?
Sister Mo,
I mean, at least if that's what
Shawty
they got to
Mo.
do to get it right.
AKA Mo Dollars.
Hey.
Over there, we got the homeboy JC.
Que lo que mi gente. Ya tú sabes, Puerto Rico en la casa semana tras semana. Esto es lo que hay, papi. ¿Oíste?
Nigga said
Relax.
MAGA.
MAGA country.
All right, man, let's get to the shits, man. Y'all see the title of the stream.
Juicy.
We get right
Whoa.
to it. We ain't gonna do no little we ain't gonna
Juicy.
pussyfoot around and talk about like nothing going on. We know they get ready to do the funeral for Nipsey. We know all kind of other shit's going on. We finna get to the topic today, goddamn me.
Yeah,
And
don't
we
even bring
gon'
that shit up.
We gonna take our
Gloss
time
over
with this. We not gonna belabor the moment. We need for y'all to jump off in that motherfucking comment section.
Oh, yeah,
Let
for
us know
sure.
what's popping. We talking about the Hoe Phase, ladies and gentlemen.
The infamous.
The
Everybody
infamous.
quiet.
Everybody got quiet.
I know.
Dun, dun, dun,
The
dun,
infamous.
Should have had a sound effect for that.
Right?
Boom.
We should have had a sound.
Yeah, that should've been
Sound
dope.
effect. The Hoe
Okay.
Phase. Is it real? Do you need one? Are you going through one? Are you in one? Are you dating somebody with one? All the shits. We talking about the Hoe Phase.
Covering all corners.
For
today.
real.
Yeah, man. So since Lionel, you were not here last week,
Yeah.
you get the opportunity to kick this shit off.
Okay, cool.
Talk to me about this Hoe Phase.
So we're going to talk about the Hoe Phase. Let's start by even defining, you know, Hoe Phase.
Take it off.
Or even what is a hoe?
Don't take it off.
Well, what is a hoe?
Play.
Well.
Yes.
Yeah, so
What is a hoe?
so yeah, what do you consider in a Hoe Phase? What do you consider a
You
hoe?
tell me, is you going, you tell
Yeah,
Oh
me.
man, get all
no,
this shit off, man.
my definition of a hoe is just someone sexually active as fuck, like period. Just sexually active as fuck. I don't think
As
you can
fuck.
be a hoe like with no sex. Like you just can't be like an emotional hoe, but maybe you
Yeah,
can.
sex is just.
They might exist.
Like in my I guess
An
so.
emotional hoe?
Yeah, that's next
I
level,
never thought
but
about it that way.
You be a label hoe.
yeah, I should. But in my head, I'm thinking like, you know, obviously getting it cracking, like sex. That's what I think. So with that being said, is it necessary?
Is it it's so necessary?
Does everyone need to go through a Hoe Phase?
Absolutely.
I think so. I think so.
All women more so. Yeah,
I think
all
so.
women got to go through that.
I think it'll help to, establish what you want or what you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh shit, this is not it right here. Like,
Well, I think
okay.
if they realize that dick means nothing to them, and
Yeah.
then like, fuck it, let me go be happy and be a woman again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
cause think about it, when you out here hoeing, you're not really being your queen self. Like, I don't give a fuck what these feminists say. They got people
Touche.
talking like, come on, man, fuck out of here.
it's necessary.
Just like if a dude don't get no pussy, what is he? He lame to people, right?
Yeah, touche.
So if a woman don't get no dick, she's like, oh my god, she's a treasure.
I saw a meme today that
If a woman
said,
fucking a lot of people, she a hoe. If a dude fucking a lot of people, he cool. So
Yeah.
the double standards fits on each side. So
no,
yeah.
there is a double standard, but that goes both ways. Because then also, it's easier for a woman to be considered a hoe than a guy.
I just said why.
Yeah, but okay, well, yeah, then that's that.
Yeah, I mean it's not
That's
unfair.
that on
I mean
that,
it's double
yeah.
standards for both of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Touche.
So, yeah.
Nonetheless, I think it is necessary. I saw a meme today that said the Hoe Phase builds character.
It does.
And I'm like,
I'm just telling you it does. It's
hilarious.
needed. It's not even
Yeah.
a judgmental thing. It's just get it
Yeah.
out your system and roll on.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there that are like, no, I just need one person. Like, let me just,
Hey, more
settle.
power to him.
yeah.
She get married at 18, turn 25, and realize she ain't had enough dick,
Hold on,
and then
is
she get
JC
divorced.
gonna
It's kinda
engage in the
happen.
conversation, or is he just going?
That's
I'm
what I'm
sending
wondering.
out the link. I'm sending out the link.
Is there anyone that
I
thinks
think he just
that?
gonna ad
Like,
lib on this one.
Yeah, he just.
Like, he's just gonna throw a
Go
couple
ahead, my
ad
bad.
does anyone think that? Like, no, you don't need a Hoe Phase. Like, just find your person and chill out.
JC?
JC may think that.
Huh? What?
Oh my god.
Do you
if
think that a Hoe
anybody
Phase is
disagrees.
necessary?
I'm sending out the link.
This guy.
Oh my
Sending out the
God!
link.
He still got that gospel career he want to get into. It's over. It's over. Sitting next to me is done, bro. You're not.
Yeah.
You can't,
He got a tie.
I know, but I heard someone also
Duet.
mention like the Hoe Phase is just daddy issues. But I don't
You
really
said what?
think that's
Hold
the
on, say that
case.
again?
Someone was like, Hoe Phase, that sounds like daddy issues. And I'm like, I don't think that's like, I could see how that could be a case. Like, that could be somebody's situation. Like,
I think it depends on the culture.
looking for love in the wrong way. Like, that could happen for sure. But ultimately, like, people are.
I think that may be a little different though than the whole phase. If you're on that, that's some kind of like destructive shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So we wouldn't call it that at all.
I mean, you could call it that, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I'm just saying, me personally, I don't know if I would define it that way, if that's what it is.
I see.
Yeah,
Talk
daddy
to-
issues is definitely.
Yeah, that's a little something
classify that as something
Let me
different.
go to
Yeah.
Mo, who is the lone woman, because for some reason Bree couldn't find a way today. We're going to leave that where it is.
Misogyny is all on you, Mo.
It's
Yeah.
only me today, and I'm against all these niggas here.
Talk
It's
to
okay,
me,
Mo.
But
We're good, Sister Mo.
I mean, as a woman, I don't know. A whole phase to me is definitely necessary, and I'm not just speaking more so on the woman part.
There's a lot of
And
niggas
from a
that
woman,
just started
it's a lot
clicking
of
right
niggas
now.
That be in their whole phase, but as you know, Chris Blake was saying, it's deemed a little bit more acceptable
right.
for a man to go through a whole phase.
As it should
And
be.
it's not
That's
necessarily a
true.
phase. It's just a man being a man,
Whoa.
which I don't necessarily agree with. But see, now JC disagrees. But
Ad-lib.
I mean, you know, I feel like if you don't get that chance to just kind of wild out a little bit, I mean, it's gonna kind of burn through you eventually.
You're gonna break
You might
somebody's
as well get
heart,
that
like,
shit out the
eventually.
way,
You'll-
like-
yeah. You'll, like, break
I feel like
somebody's
people
heart.
need that chance to go a little crazy, go crazy, go
Yeah.
stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. It's
Agreed.
definitely something every woman and man needs to go through, especially if you are looking to like eventually be
Catch
with just
some
one person
STDs,
and
yeah.
settle with somebody. Like you got to get that out of your system eventually. But
Is it a time limit on the whole phase?
Shit.
Or is it just a season?
that is dependent on the person, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I mean, people can go through
Whole
a whole
face in this for
a whole
people
phase
want to
for
catch
6 months.
STDs.
They can go through a whole phase for 6 months. Some people can go for 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just if you got that energy
that a
to do
way
that
of-
shit,
Yeah,
then go
touche.
ahead,
If you got the energy.
but that's a lot.
Is that a way of life or after 3-4 years, or is that still a
I
phase?
was thinking that too.
Yeah.
2 months or some shit like that. After some years, you
Yeah.
make that
After-
decision.
Yeah.
That might just be you. You
After
know?
Going.
4
I
years.
think if it's like
Hoes still be
post,
winning though?
Huh?
Do hoes still be winning like that?
I think so.
All right, it makes sense. They got
I'm
tricks
pretty sure,
everybody
yeah.
can't do, so it makes
I'm pretty
sense.
sure.
and,
Yeah.
and just I can't speak for the rest of the panel, but me, when I'm using the word hoe, I'm using it in the most respectful manner.
Oh, just like I use bitch, I say hoe the same way.
Yeah, I'm using it
No,
very
I
respectful.
think Amber Rose like turned the word hoe around, so it's not as offensive for women anymore. They're not like taking offense to that. So
Well, yeah.
Depends on how you say it, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
shout out to the legendary. What's my man's name that did the interview with Amber Rose? Jesse Lee Peterson.
Oh,
Jesse
Hey.
Lee Peterson.
My
oh
hero.
shit, yeah, that was
Crazy dude.
hilarious.
I love
Jesse
that.
Lee Peters, she came
was
on there and
hilarious.
he was like, hey, well you call yourself a slut and you like the fact that you a slut, and she was like, she tried to flip it. So she was
Yeah.
like, well, what about guys who sleep with a lot of women? What are you? And he said these infamous words that makes me a slut maker.
Should have made a T-shirt. I don't know
Oh
why.
my
he
That
did
God.
should have been a
bad.
T-shirt.
Oh my God.
Slut maker.
That was hilarious for real. I should have watched that interview
I
today.
don't think I watched that interview.
Such
Really?
derogatory terms.
I'm just but
Such derogatory
if
terms.
you in the quote unquote whole phase for some years, you got to start rethinking that shit. That like it's
What
not
are
just a phase.
What are you supposed to say, JC, if it's derogatory? What are you supposed to call it?
What are you supposed to call it, Jack?
We call a duck, a hoe a hoe.
Get him, Lionel.
I don't know, because then, I mean, if you're going through the whole phase for some years, you could be young. It
That's
could
what I
be
was gonna say.
Teenage going into early 20s, and then eventually about mid-20s.
But hold on, have we actually defined? Everybody went through and defined what they consider hoeing. Is it just sleep? Are we just saying you just promiscuous sleeping around? That's what it is. Are we saying that like you fucking like that you date multiple dudes and fucking them? What are we saying the whole phase? Or is it all the
Yeah.
above?
I don't know.
It's like no
You take
strings
more dick than
attached.
you used to, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
This-
being promiscuous is
Say it again.
Yeah.
Like if she used to taking one dick and then boom, dude break her heart and she fucked like 4 or 5 guys in the span of 2 months. That's a short hoe phase, but I mean,
Yeah.
still, I would consider it a hoe phase because she's doing something that she's not really used to doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like getting that body count up. You know?
yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah. I feel like it's with the intention of literally just fucking, like no strings attached.
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to
Just
take
fucking.
any. I don't want to come back tomorrow and hang out.
no
Like
strings
I'm just here for
attached.
this
Pun
moment.
intended.
Seriously, like I think that would define the whole phase.
Yep.
Or there's another phase where it's just like I want to talk to like this person and take this person serious, and then like maybe kind of have someone else like while you're talking, just so you can keep like not all your eggs in one basket. But then there's another situation where it's like, okay, I don't want to take any of these people serious. I'm just like doing me, and getting back to life. Doing me and getting back to life.
Y'all ever caught somebody, male or female? So I don't know. I'm saying this to everybody, male or female. Shout out to my LGBTQ
Made it 1 week,
listeners
man.
and
Fuck
followers,
out,
right?
man.
Yeah.
So have
Fuck
y'all ever
out.
ran into anybody who y'all were
Nigga.
trying to pursue and realized, oh shit,
Like I said, I
they in the middle of their whole phase?
Yeah.
All the time.
I've been that.
Story of my
I've been
life.
that person. I wasn't
Whoa.
like. I've never caught anyone in that phase, but I've been that person.
You been that
Yeah.
person? Well,
Yeah.
Talk to me, Lana. What happened? God damn.
Well, it was just like I had the opportunity like to date this girl and take her seriously that I like had my eyes on for a minute, but she was like in a situation, so I didn't even think about that. I'm just doing me still, but then I'm like, oh shit, the door is open now, but I'm still like in the process of doing me, so I was still like in the process of doing me, so you know.
It was like, fuck it.
It was like there was a small overlap, but I mean you have to be like honest through it and just like
Honest?
keep shit real. Yeah.
You told her you were fucking other women?
Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that. It was just like there were still strings attached to like trying to like talk to other girls and just like be cool with
How
other
did she
girls.
know you were fucking other women, Lionel?
Cause I mean I told her.
Oh my fucking god.
I wasn't having sex with other women. That wasn't the case. It was
Oh,
just
okay.
like I was still kind of attached to like my eyes were still like this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're not the only person.
Like I had 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out. Even though I was like telling her like, yeah, this is something I want to do, but I was still like, I don't know. If that makes sense. I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I don't agree with telling, but I
Yeah.
dig it, man.
You caught somebody in their whole phase, Blake? Chris Blake?
Chris? Shit, let me think.
CB?
Let me think. I can't recall. Not that I noticed, because to be honest with you, I probably just recently thought about being with somebody. So it's been a long time since I've
So
been
you
like,
weren't even in that mindset.
I didn't give a shit. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
didn't really notice.
Y'all were,
I mean, actually,
y'all were
I've
in
had girls
overlapping
who-
whole phases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we would talk to each other about people we fucked before.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking to each other about people we were fucking and shit like that. I've had a couple of girls like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Hold on.
so I guess you could say they were
Hold
in
on.
their whole phase.
So y'all were having conversations about other people that y'all were fucking?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's kind of. It could be awkward, but I mean, it may be necessary.
Not at all. My masculinity ain't that fragile, man. Like,
Well,
I don't
no,
think
in
I
the
own
sense
the
of-
pussy. Like, I ain't
yeah.
never been that guy.
Yeah.
I never let a woman tell me it's my pussy, because I know it's not.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Nah,
But
I
it
never
depends
let-
on what your relationship is, because at the same time, like, you know, that's, I mean, health wise, like, yeah, that's a conversation to be had. But then again, that's kind of personal. To like,
Man,
be like, so
people
who'd you
swear
fuck
that
last
it's like,
week?
if you fucking on somebody, I feel like that shouldn't be a touchy topic at all. People make it a touchy topic
Yeah.
to talk about who else you sleeping with, this and the third. But like,
Yeah.
if you want to be straight up about it, just be straight up about it. Because at the end of the day, like, realistically, I feel like people should be more like in depth with those types of conversations, because then they just like are in the dark too much about it. And that in that case, it's kind of more so like you gotta do your the job to where it's like I'm protecting myself, I'm keeping myself right. But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, if you don't know what's going on with that person, it's
Don't-
kind of like
The only reason why I don't agree with the whole phase is because it creates a stigma where you are allowed to quote cheat unquote on somebody.
what?
That's just me.
Even if you out of it?
That's just me. It's for me. Everybody knows I'm against cheating, so
Understandable, man.
It's for me. The whole phase should never exist because it just creates, like I said, it creates a realm of you thinking that you can cheat on someone.
But I think,
Oh,
okay,
JC,
so-
no.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't
like
necessarily
you don't do it. You don't do it where it's like it's not. Like
I
it's
see what
something.
you're saying now.
You
I
get
see
what I'm
what
saying?
you're
Like
saying,
it becomes something normal for you
that
to
can
mess
almost
around.
become an excuse that, oh, I'm just in, yeah, I'm just
Right,
in my home.
right,
I
right,
see
right,
what
Oh,
right.
okay.
You get what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
You saying
well,
they can
anybody-
carry
Well,
over
if,
into
you
the
say that,
relationship?
if you're saying
I don't
I'm
understand what
in my
you're
whole
saying.
phase and then you're being honest and that person decides
Okay,
like,
but
I'm
you're
not
not
gonna do
in
this.
a whole phase, but
Oh.
you're using that as an excuse because because society allows you to have a whole phase. You get what I'm saying? And it's wrong. It's wrong. Yes, society. nigga.
I
Society
think it's like
allows
an
it.
It's a personal
individual,
decision. It's
like
a
case by
subjective,
case, like person by person. Like if I don't want to commit to a situation right now or one person, then I don't have to. Like it's not about society saying like it's not about society at all. It's just like what do I want?
I disagree.
If society is
Talk
able
to
to
me,
carry
Jay.
me in
I
like a
disagree. It
relationship,
has everything to do with society. Society has the biggest influence on everything that we do.
I mean,
In some
I'm not
cases,
really
but
influenced by society
Hoeing?
that much.
Like,
I disagree, Lionel. I
think-
disagree. That is the biggest.
I'm curious
That
to
is
hear
the
this,
biggest
JC.
understatement that you have ever said this year so
Let
far.
JC
Society
tell us.
You are the
Hey, yo, hold on, wait, wait,
biggest society
Let-
influenced
hey,
person
let-
in this room.
Not even.
Let JC tell us about how society.
You know,
has
then
an
that
effect
just
on
goes to
hoeing.
show that you don't
Other
understand
than
who I am.
economic reasons, because I mean, the hoeing, like that's hoeing. We ain't talking about that one.
You're influenced by society. You're conservative as hell. You were born into a world that told you this is how it goes, and you said, "Okay, I'm gonna." Okay, I'm not inspired. I'm not inspired by
You said
society.
okay.
I'm
I
not
never said I
influenced.
wasn't influenced by society.
I
You're
know,
the one
but
that said you're.
I'm not. Everyone
yes,
who
you
knows
are,
me knows
Lionel.
I'm unorthodox. I'm a thinker.
He's
I'm
Jewish.
The person that doesn't like. I'm not conservative at all. Like I'll literally
But
do
David's
it. I'm
Jewish.
Lionel. Like I'm not.
Lionel, you are so influenced by society. You are part of this more power to the black movement. You're a part of. It is a movement. That's what I'm saying. You're influenced. Listen, if you don't have,
hold on, I can't represent for black people.
I'm not saying he
Damn.
can't. I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is,
JC said, "Fuck you, niggas." Shit.
what I'm saying, Lionel, is
Oh, by the
The-
way, be on the lookout for the Militant Minute with Lionel.
I can't wait,
Militant Minute
man.
coming to
can't
the
wait.
live.
I don't
with
get
no
a
strings
segment out
attached.
here, y'all.
Yeah. But go ahead though.
what I'm saying is you are influenced by society because everything
Let's
that
not
you
deviate though. Okay, are we gonna stay on the whole
I was
phase?
very curious to know
whole
how
thing.
it
I
is.
say my point is whole phase is influenced by society, and because society says it's okay, it gives you a quote unquote a license to cheat. You get what I'm saying? It makes it okay when it really isn't. So when I say that you're influenced by society, it's because if you don't have a social media account, then you feel left out. If you don't, when I say you, I speak collectively. If you don't have X amount of followers on Instagram or on Snapchat, if a certain person didn't like your picture, you get influenced by these things. But what I'm saying is you're a part of this because of a lot of things that you've said in the past is because of the way society has portrayed it. Society portrays a lot of things that influence who we are and how we come about today. And that's why I say Hoe Phasing is very influenced, especially by Hollywood. It's influenced by the pornographic world. It's influenced by it's influenced by social media because all you see nowadays is women exhibiting their bodies because
Oh, you're saying it's making it more acceptable to do it.
right.
Ah, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So-
yeah. It's not as taboo. Nah. I mean, do you want to go back to the days when women only showed their ankles and shit like that?
Not at all. Not at all. By any means, am I saying we have to go back to, you got to dress with a toga on every day and that's it.
That nigga want this
You know
bitch in a
what
burqa.
Yeah. But I'm saying, what I'm saying is, it ultimately whole phasing is influenced by society. No matter how you look at it, no matter.
I think it's just somebody getting tired of the monotony of a relationship and just saying, fuck it, I'm going to go for bad for like a few months and just
I
fuck
feel like whole
a few
phasing
people.
might be acceptable now because for such a long time society said that it wasn't acceptable.
Yeah, that too.
So I think society also influenced the fact that a whole face wasn't okay.
That's
At the
what
same time.
Right. Like back then they'll look at a cheater and it'll be like, oh shit, like get him away from us. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays they look at a cheater, whatever.
So you want to stone bitches when they cheat? That's
Not
what
at
you
all. I'm not saying that. But what I'm
cane
saying
them
is,
publicly.
what I'm saying is, we have to hold a certain standard.
Yeah.
We have to hold a certain standard. We can't just give in to what society says it's okay when we really know it's not okay. You get what I'm saying? We cannot let society dictate what's good and what's wrong.
I think this shit is subjective, man. I don't think it's individual, dude. I don't really think it's.
That's an
Yep.
oxymoron.
Why you got me agreeing with Lionel? You got me agreeing with Lionel right now.
And do whatever I want to do.
That makes a lot of fucking sense. That's what.
That's what a whole phase technically
That's what it's
is
for. Especially for a woman. Yeah.
But why don't you get it out your system with the person that you want to be with?
What?
How you gonna hoe with them? You do nasty shit, but you can't hoe with them. It's the same person.
Like we're trying to say that a whole phase happens. We're not talking about if you.
Hey JC, by the way, they're not selling pussy though.
That's something completely different. Like that's doing it incorrectly. If you're doing a whole phase during a relationship while you're trying to be serious with somebody, you need to just go ahead and leave them alone and finish out what you need to do, and then maybe come back if they still want to fuck with you. But whole phases in relationships don't go hand in hand. Like,
but what I'm saying is,
different parts of your life of like what you're gonna go through. There have been women I've met that haven't gone through a whole phase like that. They don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel the need to go and sleep with other guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a one woman, kind of like how you are. I'm a one man woman type of thing, and like that's fine, but I don't think we shouldn't connect the two. Like a relationship and whole phase are two completely different stages in life. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Instead of having a whole phase, why don't you just commit to that one person and do everything that you want to get off your system with that one person? Because like
that wouldn't
it doesn't complicate things,
and it's gonna make things a little bit harder because it's like if I'm gonna go through a whole phase with one person, you know what I'm saying, they see the things that I'm up to and the things that I'm doing, I can go and do this and the third. Who's to say that person's even gonna trust me in the future? You know what I'm saying? Because if you were so okay with me going through the whole phase while you around.
Yeah, that's what what I'm saying is.
You never know, man. A woman might like fat niggas. You know what I'm saying? She don't know that because all she been fucking on is this one skinny dude she been with. I don't know that. So I need a whole phase to get through and see what it is that I like.
Please elaborate.
I'm just saying, like, it's just you just got to try different things. Like, you don't have the same experience with every person. So
I understand, but this ain't food. We can't go to a steakhouse and then to a seafood house.
You can
and then,
if you want.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't food. We can do that with food, but with people, we're talking about emotions. We're talking about like breaking people's emotional stability. You know what I'm saying? And I speak in favor of the women because women are more emotional creatures than men are, and women nowadays it's sad, but they get way too emotionally attached, more than men. Although we got that few that, you know, just vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But
y'all making me laugh my head.
So you against the whole phase? Yeah.
I am.
I mean, it sounds like he's really adamant about that shit too.
Yeah.
You don't believe it. So for the rest of us that want to have fun,
I swear to God, cut that nigga mic off. Shit.
No, but I think the perspective is needed from JC, right? I like for people to chime in and jump into the chat. Let me know what you think if a whole phase is needed. And if it's needed, how long is too long for a whole phase? Because some of y'all out here at 32 still talking about you in your whole phase.
Nigga, if you're 32 in your whole phase,
yeah, you can't be. You can't say that you. Yeah, I'm just still out here in my whole phase. No, you just the whole out here, mommy. I'm sorry. Yeah. You gotta take that second word off.
I think by 30, I think it's over with. Like you can't do it.
So what's the time limit on?
I think 20s and like 20s is like the best time.
Early to mid 20s.
For when they young,
True.
Yeah. See, okay,
I
so
be 26, wilding out.
So that's a good point.
Finally.
I think I always tell people when they get married young, sometimes if you haven't knocked out that whole phase early, then sometimes it may be difficult for the marriage because if you get married super young like the Mormons do, if you get married super young,
this fucking guy.
You get.
Oh God! Don't get him started, man. You got your shit coming up, man. Get your shit off when you get your minute, man. It's not your minute, bro.
No, what I'm saying though, sometimes though when you do that, right, and you get married super young, you commit to this one person, but you never experienced anything else, and you get to, it's natural to look, but you never got anything out of your system. I think sometimes the whole phase, one thing that it is good for is for you to get it out of your system and see, man, it ain't really shit out there I'm missing. You know
man.
That it ain't nothing I'm missing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You got to experience that.
Men, that's a big thing for men to realize because you think, you know what I'm saying, yo, I'm missing out on something that this woman ain't letting me do that she gonna let me. You're like, oh, okay, it's just the same thing. Okay,
It's different for men. What you talking about?
What you talking
I thought
about?
you were still talking about women.
No, I'm talking about
You saying men should stop hoeing too?
No.
Why would you ever say something so
I'm not
blasphemous?
saying
It's
that.
necessary.
I'm
for
saying
men
it's
to have
necessary.
that
I'm saying to get it out of
realization.
your system to realize, like, oh, okay. It ain't really a pot of gold at the end of this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like that's the main point of a whole
Yeah.
phase, to like not only get it out your system, but to understand that like just there's not really
See
anything
that
crazy
stuff
out there.
like
'Cause
that
I can
doesn't
sit
make
there and
sense
tell
to
you-
me.
You said it doesn't make sense?
Because if I'm already telling you, hey, there's nothing at the end of the tunnel. Okay, why would you want to go down the tunnel and waste your time to find out that I was right the whole
Probably
time?
don't wanna be settled
Come
down.
on,
tell
man.
somebody all day, just like my parents would tell me, you don't want to do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't. This is what's gonna come out of it. I'm not gonna know for myself until I try it. I don't know about y'all. I'm the type of person that likes to learn the hard way, and that's sad about me. I hate that shit about me
Glad you know
sometimes.
that.
But
pretty sad, like-
sometimes I just want to learn the hard way. I need to know for myself. I need to experience that for myself, because now I learn through my own experiences. You can't always go off of secondhand, thirdhand experiences. Like that's not how life works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just living. I don't think it's that. I see where you're coming from, Jay, but like to Mo's point, it may not even be like that deep. It may just be like you just want to have fun.
And then, I mean, even then, if you sit here and tell me that this isn't, grass ain't greener on the other side, and I, in my own perception, think it is, I ain't gonna know that until I try for myself. You know what I'm saying? So maybe what I find desirable, what I find acceptable, isn't the same to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've learned. Especially like growing up with how my parents were. You know what I'm saying? They were, good. They're good people, but they were a little bit more strict on me. So. Shit, once I moved out, I was wilding out because they was telling me, you can't
I used to
be doing
love y'all
this,
in
you can't do
college.
that. Like,
Hilarious.
no.
Girls that had strict parents in college, when they got to college, they was wilding.
Hilarious.
They were loved.
But that's okay. So that was what I wanted to bring up. I was gonna bring up college because I feel like that's the ideal age range
Yes.
to get all that shit out of your system. What's that, like 18 to 21, 22?
18, 21, yeah,
Right?
18, 21, yep.
That's the time.
Get
That's
a young
that
college
time.
man laid all over the country.
Yeah.
24, 25, because some niggas be going to college late.
Yeah. But that's the
Staying
time
in a
though.
little bit longer.
Motherfuckers that right around that college age, that's the time where you get it in, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
knock that on out real quick. And but like typically though, by the time you're an upperclassman in college, you've kind of hung out at the parties. I know me when I became upperclassman, it was kind of like I was damn near partied out by the end. I was
They
still
focused, they ready to
I
get
was
the
still
hell
trying to
up out.
hold on. But yeah, I was still trying to hold on. But it was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can do, man. I get it though, JC. I'm not, I'm with you, man. Look, JC's gonna play. He playing Snake on his phone.
No way. This
What you
nigga.
talking about?
They got that old razor phone.
I get it, but
That's stupid.
You can respectfully disagree.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing since everybody except
Fuck that other
except
side of
JC,
respect. No, I'm just playing.
since everybody is so open, would you? So I'm assuming that y'all would be open with y'all partners telling y'all if y'all got in a serious relationship that because y'all talking about you fucking with other people and y'all having a conversation about it. So you being like, just to let you know, I know we in a committed relationship now, but I'm from this city, this town, and I was wild a couple years ago, so just put you on.
Know the person you fucking with before you say that. I would look at you like, why the fuck you telling me that? Because what does it matter? Like, we ain't going to that old crusty ass town anyway.
No, I'm saying like, what if it's in the town y'all living? Is what I'm saying. And she just want to like put you on notice. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
about 3 niggas and knocked off in there. Like,
yeah, but sure, she'd be like, yo, I know you want to go to this club, but I used to fuck the DJ, the bouncer, and the promoter.
How is she reformed? I don't know. Can you really recover from that? That is different level hoeing.
Okay, let me ask Mo then, because
They all friends.
Because
You
Mo
fuck off
said
together?
that it's a everyday thing. That's all that she meet is dudes that's in their whole.
Oh, that's the pass around though, dog. That's heavy. Shit, I don't know about the pass around. Oh, this could be deleted. Yeah. She got an NFL ball in it. I mean, so maybe so. Hoes be winning, like I said. Yeah.
Talk to me, Mo. You meet a dude, he tell you, yeah, I just want to put you on notice during my whole phase. What if he fuck with your homegirls? It's anything. Does he put what's the bridge too far? But it was in his whole phase. It ain't.
But that's just territorial. I mean, it depends on how good me and that friend are.
Okay.
Like, because most times, I mean, just like I don't know if this is the
You
same
gay?
for men. Because there's been times where I've been like, I've either been friends with women after I
Nigga
found
had
out
his
that we
mic
was
off.
like
This guy's mic was
the
off.
same person.
No.
Was your mic been off?
Mic was off?
I guess so. What's good, y'all? I hope y'all have a productive, positive,
We've been
Pop
having
in Wednesday.
positive
He
conversation.
been the most.
No, that's funny. It's fine.
Somebody commented.
They felt the energy.
Yeah, this guy, you've been going. That's why this guy Lionel, man. This guy decided to turn his mic off.
I thought that it was already off, so like it was you guys.
Why would you think it's off?
I'm
We didn't get a mic check.
because I clicked the switch and then I'm
Let
like,
her go
oh
home.
shit, let me turn it back on. And then I guess I turned it off. Yeah,
Yeah, we yelling at Lionel now. That's what
I
you
know. I'm like, I feel like.
Damn it, Len! No, I'm just playing.
Okay, well.
So, anyways, what you were saying?
I know
So let's
somebody-
start
I
over.
know
So let's start
somebody
over.
heard
So let's
me.
start over.
I know somebody heard me.
This is
Somebody
my
heard
homie
me.
Blake. Nah.
Over there, that's Jason.
Que la que mi gente, pues torre la casa.
I hope y'all have a
Dale,
productive, positive Wednesday.
All right.
Fuck, man. Hey, yo.
You never brought down all everybody's energy.
So they
now.
really couldn't hear. They really couldn't. You guys really couldn't hear me. Like, is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
man.
Oh, your
Yeah.
mic was
Hey,
off.
hey, the public never lies.
Hey, you just said you turned your mic off. Now you said
Hey,
y'all really couldn't hear
Hey,
me.
I was thinking I was
society
turning it
never
on.
lies.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Don't listen to society, JC.
Did we let you talk that
They
much?
saying they can't hear you.
Well, I'm
what
on
they
now. I hope you guys can hear. What's good?
This guy turned his mic off.
No, that's
No,
hilarious.
bro.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Lionel.
Okay,
this
cool.
guy. All right, so the
Cool.
energy's been brought down by Lionel. We talking about the whole phase. Since everybody else is in the chat and y'all are listening, tell me about y'all whole phase, goddammit. We'll listen to y'all.
Yeah, for
We
real,
won't even
right?
listen to Lionel's ass.
You know
You
what?
dig? Since he decided to turn his mic off. You said some good shit though. You might have to repeat it. I don't know.
I mean, he ain't gonna. Man, it's fucked up.
It is fucked up, right?
No,
But we
but
gotta try to keep it up. I mean, yo.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we good.
All right,
Let's
well-
back to this thing though. She fucked the DJ, the bouncer, and the promoter.
Yes, and she just letting you know, hey, that was just in my whole. I was a phase I was going through. I was in that club all the time.
Hey man, I'm an open-minded nigga. I don't even know if I could take that one. Like to know about it. Like, why did you get paid? I would like to know the psychology behind it. Like, why'd you fuck everybody in
right?
such
Hold on,
close quarters?
hold
Like,
on now.
I would just want to ask about that.
Y'all
Like,
gonna make me get
what's
on
going
JC's side now. That was a whole phase.
Damn, but that's like groupie shit. Can groupies
You see what I'm
recover?
saying? You see what I'm
Is it
saying?
groupie? That's like groupie shit, right? In my
I don't-
opinion.
Well, in my
No,
scenario, she's
because
fucking
a
them all
group-
independently.
Yeah.
She met this dude, she liked him, fucked him. She met that one, liked him, fucked him. And
Well,
then,
we gotta be all in the same building.
It's like a thanks
That's
for
the-
telling me. We might not want to hit this spot, but like,
right,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Cause I don't go to the club no way, so I mean I'll probably be. But like, damn,
Yeah.
like I just want to know why
Yeah.
did you like? Why did you?
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Were
So
they
hold
like
on.
at separate
Are y'all-
clubs? Did they come to one club?
Are y'all
eventually?
putting parameters on the whole thing?
Yes.
I would just want to know about
No.
that.
Yes.
Are they putting parameters on
Yes.
the
I
thing?
just
I'm
wanna
not
know
putting
if she
parameters.
recovers.
exactly what they're doing.
I'm probing his
That's
like.
I
exactly
just
what
want
they're
to know
doing.
if
I'm
she's
not-
recovered.
Yeah.
You know what
She's
I'm saying? Like,
reformed.
I'm making sure. Like, how?
That's exactly
Which
what
is
they're
a,
doing.
yeah.
I don't think if I would ask in depth about what's going on with that, but if that's something that somebody brings to my attention, I think I would appreciate that a little bit more than to have me. Let's say like I'm end up being cool with somebody at that bar.
So
That's
you,
the bitch that she was fucking on, and I'm just being buddy buddy with her. I would rather know that
yeah.
beforehand, before I'm all in her face being cool with her, because she knows what the fuck is going on at that point. Now I'm looking stupid.
so you wouldn't be embarrassed to walk with somebody that has literally has done the whole football team?
Whoa. Are we talking
No,
about?
nigga, that's a whole
Wait,
phase,
wait.
right?
We
That's a
talking
full.
about
No.
Shout out to my LGBTQ.
No, I'm saying, I'm
Let's
speaking,
wear a rainbow shirt next week, nigga.
nigga. I'm saying
Jesus
generally,
Christ.
generally speaking. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If would you not feel embarrassed walking around with a chick that did the whole football team?
Are we talking about me?
I'm saying you generally. Would you not feel embarrassed?
Well, of course, I wouldn't date her, but I'm not gonna knock her.
Oh, but that's her whole phase.
She's
though.
not for
That's
me.
her, no. That's
Yeah,
her whole
she's just
phase.
not
though.
for me because
That's
The
her
whole
whole phase.
football team?
All right.
no.
What's she going through?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Is it
her whole
is
phase,
it like
nigga.
Really, man, I
parameters?
gotta know the psychology.
That's her
behind
whole
it.
phase. You're putting a parameter
Y'all
because you're
making me
saying.
come around to
Girls who
JC
get
side.
trans ran
Yeah,
on them.
that-
I
you
don't
see
know
what I'm
what's
saying?
around, like,
That's exactly what I'm
There's
saying.
a
because
fine
you're
line
saying she
between
can't-
hoe issues and
she
daddy
can't
issues.
sleep
This
with
is
the
extreme.
DJ,
I
the
mean, hoe
promoter,
phases and
and the
daddy
bouncer.
issues.
That's the whole football team, nigga.
She got some problems at that point.
There's
Yeah, I
a
would like
fine
to know what
line,
happened,
JC.
like-
That's
Something
the-
deeper is going on.
There's a fine
Exactly.
line.
Dick is deeper.
Ah, she's trying to
Same
get it to
shit.
hit deeper.
Something.
And I just want to know, did she handle it?
happening
Like,
at that point.
did you get this? Like, is it okay? Have you dealt with it? Because
So
I'm
hold
wrong.
on.
You do shit
Is
like
it
that.
is it a body count limit on the whole phase? Is it like
I mean, it's a football team limit. Y'all said a football team. The bouncer shit
For
was just like the
sure.
bouncer club promoter DJ shit was just whatever. But the whole football team, because there's some girls that has, you know.
if
I
it's
mean, I personally ain't asking for body counts. I could give a fuck about a body count.
I don't wanna ask
like,
either,
we too
yeah.
grown to be worried about how many people you done fucked on. Oh, you ain't been under 10. All right, I'm not fucking with you. Like, Come on now. I'm not about to do that shit. That shit.
So you going
to
with
me, some high school shit. Don't sit and ask me about body count. I'm not gonna ask you about body count. Like that's dumb.
But you would, but see that's kind of a little double speech though, Mo, because you said you wouldn't care about it, but you would appreciate it if he told you, so that you wouldn't be all up in this other person's face.
I'm not gonna ask about every bitch you done fucked with.
I'm with you.
My thing is that if you come to me about like, okay, we about to go to this spot, there is a girl there that I used to, fuck on and things like that, like that. In that point, I'm gonna be appreciative because if I'm in there like just being myself.
Put you on alert mode. Yeah, I'm with you.
Being friendly towards one another at that point, like, and I don't know about what's going on, then I don't know how to act, and then you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there looking.
But what if that's happening though at every other club y'all go out to? By the way,
then you
this
gotta
club,
make a decision.
yeah, I used to fuck the chick at the door. Next club, yeah, this bartender.
Man, you crazy for talking about that shit. In my opinion, like, I wouldn't say nothing. Why would you talk about these things?
So
niggas be
just
knocking
leave
these
it.
Shout out to Mo, but yes, niggas do be knocking these hoes down.
I don't know. I feel like to me that's showing an insecurity at that point. If you're gonna sit there and be like, oh well, no, like, no, I don't want to fuck with you because I mean, if this nigga is just talking about like if he's still trying to fuck with these bitches and still trying to being friendly with them and shit like that, I peep some shit like that. Okay, nigga, don't fuck with me.
So the whole
like,
phase.
no, I don't want to see that. But if you about me and we about each other, like, and you are man enough to tell me some shit like that before I'm sitting there in a bitch face about it, I can appreciate that. But at that point now, I'm watching how you react and how you act around these people. Because if you sitting there being friendly, trying to cop a feel and things like that, nigga, then at that point I'm like, all right, no, I don't want to fuck with you. But people can grow. People can push past certain things. Yeah, I used to be, into that person. I used to want to fuck on that person all the time. That's somebody that I was like, really into. That was who I was going through my whole phase with, going this girl, and that girl. But unless you're still actively trying to pursue those people, I could give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't care.
Just don't take me to the
club.
I'm
like, because at that point, I wouldn't want us going, and that's just
maybe
gonna
that's not the spot.
That's just gonna cause more like insecurity between the two of y'all. Like,
so the whole phase should go to the grave.
Yeah, I'm not asking about no whole phase at that point. If you over
my
it,
shit's going to the grave.
I don't want to hear about it.
I feel like we could trade stories.
You're not gonna tell me about yours.
Hold on.
It's about me and you.
Yeah, we could trade
what we
stories.
working on now. Like that's.
See, Blake is the exception because Blake is saying you should be able to trade Hoe Phase stories.
Yeah, I mean,
you can if you're comfortable with your partner.
If you're comfortable with your partner,
I understand, but I don't need you going in depth and trying to tell me about every single. I don't need.
How
to hear
far are
about
we going into the? Yeah, I'm with Mo. How far are we going into the story though? We talking about that the pussy was good.
In my experience, I never ended up with these women. Actually, no, one of them ended up.
I'm not gonna explain like, oh, it's this girl. I might tell a generalized story about, oh, one time I was, fucking on this nigga and this happened and it was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh, that nigga.
It was crazy as hell.
That, you know him. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna be in depth about the story.
That's
like
some other shit.
That's
some other shit. Yeah, like
y'all niggas. Y'all don't need
like you trying to get that thing back? You trying to get that old thing back?
Yeah. Have you been thinking about this?
I'm with you though. The whole phase probably. I think it should go to the grave with you. I think
I was never serious with none of them girls, so that's another thing, bro.
Yeah, I think you should just go to the grave with you. Just take that. Listen, just take that little story with you, man, and just ride off
and
to the
sunset. If it comes to the point we got to move out the city, then that's what we got to do.
Because listen, but talking about the whole phase, like Lionel, you just touched your mic. Is it good?
Oh yeah, the mic's good.
Okay, cool. All right. Every time Lionel touches his mic, now I got to check. All right, but I know dudes talk about they quote unquote whole phase. They potty say, hey, remember old girl, remember da da da. And I know ladies do it too, right? So I guess I'm a bit. Maybe I'm getting old and I'm coming to JC's side on this shit.
Aww,
so because everybody's talking about the shit, but to JC's point, the whole reason everybody's doing it was because it was something that was acceptable by society.
Right, thank you, sir.
So now
no way, people were doing it anyway. There was just no one called it a whole phase.
But no, well.
And people weren't open about it.
Yeah, that's JC's point. That I think what JC's larger point is that like back in the day there was a certain level of shame to certain stuff.
Yeah, but you guys, pimping and hoeing was glorified in the 70s and 80s.
Yes and no.
There were
movies about it.
Well, that's glorifying. We want to talk Hollywood and society. That's what that is.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I don't know if I feel what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing because shout out to the Mac. That's my fucking movie. But
and that's not even really a thing like today. Like there's no pimp movies.
What's not a thing?
No pimp movies come out. No one really talks about pimps and hoes.
Pimping
like
is horrible, man.
I'm telling you, so like.
But it got played out though. Snoop played out.
The world continues to spin. The world is always spinning.
Cool. It ain't cool to manipulate people. That shit trash.
The difference between back then and now.
It's my choice, Blake. Go ahead.
The difference between back then and now is that back then
they were on ecstasy and Coke.
Whoa, that's not pimping though. If you put
got
it
some?
in.
Well, I mean, there's so many
Yeah,
different
this-
things. There's pimping, and then we can't act
No.
like there wasn't a rave of ecstasy. Like people were doing these
That's what
love
fucked the
drugs.
game up.
They
Yeah,
were
that's
doing
not-
these love
hey,
drugs
that's not
and
pimping,
having.
though.
They were in their whole phases.
Hey, leave
I'm
the
with
mic
you.
alone.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Leave
telling
the mic
you.
alone.
Yeah, everybody get nervous when you
Leave
touch
the
the mic.
fucking
like
mic
I don't even
alone.
be noticing. I'll be grabbing
This
this
guy.
side.
No,
Smashing.
don't grab anything. Listen, the difference between back then and now is that back then,
They didn't want me.
no, back then there was
Who?
there was a lot of shame to things that were done that today society deems acceptable. There was a lot of shame back then. There was.
My man Lionel said,
Because porn
This is
porn
'cause I
back
know
then
about, like,
porn
that
back
shit.
then was a taboo. Today it's free. It's
And that's awesome.
free to
Thank
society.
God for that shit.
Because the
But
internet
what
wasn't
does
as accessible.
But
It wasn't.
it brings
JC,
validity. It brings
JC,
validity to my
JC,
point.
JC.
Hey, hold on. It brings validity to my point. Back then, it was something that was frowned
It
upon.
wasn't accessible.
It wasn't because
You
it
had
was
to have a
frowned
DVD
upon.
collection. You had to
Because
have
it
a-
was frowned upon.
Hilarious.
I'm telling you, you
Now-
couldn't just get on your phone real quick.
Now-
Nigga want to go back to BC.
No, I'm telling you,
Nah,
even like the
nah.
early 2000s,
Bro,
people
we're
had
talking about-
collections
we're talking
like
about being-
DVDs.
They had the
On a
pictures
se-
carved
It's
out.
on
so
a
much more
serious note,
accessible.
on a serious note,
Yeah.
back then it was frowned upon because, and that's why it wasn't as accessible as it is in today's society. You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's
Back
because
then-
technology
back
advanced.
then-
That's a huge factor. Like if they could have had access to this kind of stuff now, it would have been the same kind of situation if you ask me, because they were doing the shit. Period.
No,
it's not like I'm
no.
sorry. I watched a lot of documentaries and they were on the shits. They were on the love drugs heavy for real.
Yeah, man. You know what? Think
That's why
about
they
it,
had
though.
so many damn kids with different families.
While he talking that shit about back in the day, it was a lot more violent back then. So they probably was a lot more violent because people weren't fucking like that. So you should be happy that people.
Y'all don't
were
think that
fucking
people
like
were fucking like that
Well,
back
no,
then?
They were, but it was
a whole period in the
taboo.
70s of free
Yeah.
love and
Yeah, like I
Woodstock
literally
shit.
watched a
That's
documentary
just-
on
Dude,
that.
crime is lower than it's ever been. And y'all know this shit. Think about it. Like in the 70s and 80s, like I remember watching a documentary, like the murders in Chicago now.
You know what
ain't
crime-
shit compared
you know-
to, man,
you know
gonna
what
cut me off,
crime is
I'll let
lower
you talk that
nowadays?
goofy shit about back in the day.
You know why crime is lower nowadays?
Why? Because people fucking.
Because fucking standards are lowered.
Oh my
They're
god.
lowered.
Well, no, people
Crime
are
is low,
doing
the
better.
standards
People are trying to do better,
The standards
JC.
are low. There's things that are acceptable now. Marijuana was illegal. Now that shit is
I see what you're
acceptable.
saying. I see what you're
Standards are lowered.
Marijuana-
They're lowered. They're lowered now.
Don't-
You know
don't-
why?
no.
You know why?
That is
Because
not
they
a
don't want to
low-standard
deal
drug,
with the
okay?
repercussions of putting people away and having to deal
Oh,
with
okay.
with
Somebody
all that
talk.
legality. Right now they're like, you know what? They're gonna do it anyways. Let's just
actually-
let them do it.
Because it's
Let's make
weed.
illegal.
It shouldn't
Let's
be
make
illegal in the first
now.
place.
I'm gonna lower my standards and I'm gonna go for the bullshit.
No,
instead of
JC, that's a
staying-
different agenda.
It's
That's a
not.
pharmaceutical,
It's
whole
not.
different conversation.
It's not.
Man, fuck,
It's
I'm
not.
That's an agenda.
What I'm saying is, whole phasing nowadays is acceptable by society because they've lowered their standards. Now it's okay to cheat. Now, if you don't want to be with somebody, get divorced. Now, if you don't want to, it's there's no standards. There's no moral standards.
never
in
heard it was
today's
okay to
society.
cheat.
There are no
We
Can I
never said
respond?
it.
moral
Can I say that? Can I
standards.
respond? Listen, I never heard it was okay to cheat, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like there were not grandparents in the '60s with different families, hidden families. People not even finding out that they had siblings until later
my
in
dad had a
life.
whole
That was
family.
a thing, JC. That wasn't one or two families. That was a whole ass thing.
Okay, but
There's
why?
nothing new
why
under the
was
sun.
it hidden?
One at
There
a
was
time,
nothing
one at a
I
time,
think
one
the
at a time.
reason I can disagree with
Because there was no character. People are honest now.
Because there were morals.
No, there was no character. But you're still doing it. So where are the morals when you were doing this shit?
Minute. Wait a minute.
It's my
Let's
shit.
let
I can't
Mo
even
jump in.
fucking joke about this shit.
Let's let Mo jump in.
Niggas is serious.
Woo. Okay.
I didn't
so-
know hoes was such a big topic.
Took all the fun out of hoeing.
when it comes to crime being lower, and JC saying about how standards have been lowered, I disagree, and I say I disagree because I think that shit may be a little bit lower now because people are just being more on a platform. People are watched a lot more than they used to be back in the day. There wasn't the technology that we have today to where people are always being seen doing something, recorded doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, maybe in the 50s, 60s, it was easier to get away with crime. It was easier to, because, okay, for example, there was a guard that worked in my job, yo.
That's true.
And this
That's a
man,
good
he's
point.
like in his 60s now. You know what I'm saying? He lived through the 70s, the 80s. And this motherfucker was crazy, doing crazy shit all the time because at this point, it was just a matter of you can't catch us. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always doing some wild shit. He would tell me the stuff he would do before he got into the Marines, all kinds of stuff. And they was doing some crazy shit as kids too. You know what I'm saying? And it's because it was just a matter of outrunning whoever it was that may have caught you. But in this society, like, everything's recorded. There's fights going on that's recorded, shootings that's going on that's recorded. You know what I'm saying? People are getting caught up a lot more because of the technology that we have today. So that's what I say I don't agree with. It's because people's standards are lower. I think it's just that people are being watched too much now, to the point where it's like nothing we do is in secret. Nothing we do is private, because everything is out in the open for everybody to see and to hear. And back then it wasn't the same way. Like you couldn't fuck with people unless you pulled up on them. You know what I'm saying? Like I can FaceTime somebody right now and watch what they doing. I couldn't do that shit unless I was right there in the room with somebody back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like
Star Trek shit.
So that's what I'm like, I don't know. I don't
just,
necessarily agree with standards being lowered.
To piggyback on that, also
Veggie back. We don't do that.
Veggie back, touche.
Wait,
that's a
Veggie
good
back.
point.
Veggie back.
But yeah, like
back,
I don't know, people
I seen
are
that bacon on your stove. Nigga, quit lying.
people are more against violence today, if you ask me. Like
more
people are,
against violence?
I think so, because
People
I've
more
noticed
what?
I noticed movements like in Houston,
more what?
Atlanta,
More
that are like hashtag
Bullshit.
gloves down or guns down,
Hey,
gloves
y'all, I
up.
swear to God, man, I was just making a joke about Hohen making less violence.
I know,
That was a
I'm
complete
with y'all.
fucking
We
joke.
deviate.
Y'all
I'm
just
just-
made it. Jesus Christ.
We have a
Facts
very
didn't used to matter.
Let me say this real quick. Let me jump in real quick, because we had some people that actually commented to me on some emails. Anyway, I won't get into it, but
It's not chatting.
their critique of the show was
Tell these
that,
niggas get in the live
hold
chat.
on, hold on. They didn't want to get in the live chat, and their critique of the show was that we were too juvenile and that we need to be more da-da-da-da. I didn't tell nobody on the panel this, but the reason that we have this show is because, as I say at the beginning of every show, we allow everybody to express themselves in their most organic states. The panel was chosen because of their views and opinions. And everybody expresses themselves organically. So sometimes people feel like saying bitch and fuck. That's the way they feel like expressing that specific opinion. But as you can see, when dealing with something on surface level as simple as a Hoe Phase, this shit done got into crime statistics and black exploitation movies. You understand? So we are diverse, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to rock with us and keep going.
All
That's
I
just
can
my
say
PSA. Go
to
ahead.
that maybe is, I mean, the beautiful thing about the internet and the beautiful thing about videos and things that you watch, websites and things like that, if you do not agree with something, you can literally log off. You can walk away from hearing what it. I see some shit on the timeline and I don't want to see it. I'm not going to go and write a paragraph to that person to try and spit my views out there, because that is what the internet is for. It's for people to put their opinions out there, and people are too sensitive to the point where they have to sit and try to argue their point all the time. Like, if you don't like something, walk away from it.
It's a control.
Say it again, sister.
It's a control
I don't
thing.
understand why people make it a big thing like that.
It's because people like to control everything.
For example, you on Facebook, you see some controversial post, people just sitting back and forth arguing, paragraphs. I'm like, y'all are getting yourself worked up for nothing when you could literally just stop thinking about it and not have to. You don't have to tune into it. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to say don't watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to push people away from it, but at the same time, if you're gonna complain
Them
about
niggas
it,
over 30 anyway. Nobody
you
care what
gotta
they
walk
talk
away
about.
from it. Like, come
How
on.
would they
You
run?
gotta have
I
the
don't even
willpower
care.
to be able to be like, I don't agree with this. I'm not gonna engage in it. That's it.
Sister Mo has spoken. That's it.
I ain't thinking about them people up.
Mo
Fuck 'em.
said it.
So let's get back to these hoes.
Yeah, I swear to God, man.
Let's
Jesus
get back to
Christ.
these hoes. So what's the dirtiest hoe you put out?
Oh, what? The dirtiest?
I'm dead.
You ready? Oh my God, I got some stories, my nigga. I love that shit. Hey man, Blake appreciates y'all hoeing. Like, I don't care what the fuck they talking about. JC my guy, but he can go ahead and move on with that shit. Fuck that. Keep hoeing, have fun, baby. Like, when it's over, it's over. But you keep the world going around, man. There's a lot of happy people in offices the next day because of your hoeing. Keep it going.
And I think that you can always, and this might sound weird to some people, but I think you can do it respectfully. I'm also the author of You Can Cheat Respectfully. But you can also, you can be in your whole phase respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I think Mo was saying in a minute ago, maybe it was Lionel, that, like, yo, when you're in that phase, you ain't trying to be on no committed to nobody, nothing. You're just kind of having fun doing you. You hanging out, y'all night date, go to the show or something. Yeah, you know, you doing you, but you ain't. You're not leading anybody on. Now, I would think you're not doing it correctly if you lead people on thinking that it's more than what it is.
Right.
No, we just kicking it. It's just casual.
Right.
What we're talking about is just casual sex. That's what we're talking
Ultimately,
about.
yeah, that's
ultimately what
perfect.
it is.
I think
Yeah.
that's the issue. I think that's where the issue lies, is that people don't do the whole thing correctly.
There's that, and then people also view sex differently. Like, some people don't see it as like casual. Some people think it's like super private and it has to be
Yeah, people view sex.
But then there's
So this is why
But
this
it's
is
like,
the reason why I don't believe in it, because whether you say it's casual or not, you're gonna get emotionally tied to that person. You're gonna get emotionally tied to that person, whether you like it or not, because you've had sex, because you became intimate with that person, whether it was casual or not. You are now emotionally tied to that person, and it's gonna be hard to break up. It's gonna be hard to get rid of the relationship. You're gonna be thinking about it twice. You're gonna be thinking about it 3 times. Like,
but maybe that's your perspective. Like maybe that's like how you do with like process sex.
Hollywood has Hollywood has portrayed the same shit.
On this, but I can fuck them up.
Hollywood has portrayed the same thing.
I can fuck
Movie
about Hollywood.
after
Like,
movie after movie after movie.
No, but you can
all
have
we
sex
find
with
is
someone
people
and, like,
getting
it's okay.
emotionally attached
So
when
we
they
talking about
shouldn't.
movies.
No, that's
Hey,
not
where
real.
does this data come from?
Like,
We're talking about
Like this DHS data, motherfucker. Like, yo,
I can't agree.
I don't agree.
Like,
What the
I don't know because
Boom. Hey, what does boomerang have to do with?
Huh?
What does boomerang? It says it right there. Come on, man.
Touche.
Come on.
I mean, you got a point with that.
Touche.
All right, now that this nigga gone, let's have some fun. All right, yo, what those at? What
I'm so
They stand
I'm
up the chat because they
confused.
like JC is very judgy. Jesus Christ.
Well,
JC.
shout out to JC. He represents
I'm fucking with him. I love JC,
our
man.
Christian and our faith-based version of the crowd. But nonetheless, right?
Yeah, right.
So let's get to the fun shit. So
All right.
So in the
so
whole
worry.
let's
phase,
get to
Right.
the real compliment.
Where were we?
So in your whole phase,
JC gone.
right? When you're in your whole phase, you're just having fun. On the
Just
mobile.
having fun,
You're just having
man.
fun. I know a lot of people don't.
They can't fathom the idea that someone can have sex for fun and like enjoy it and like keep it pushing.
People
I
bring
know.
people bring it to a very spiritual level,
Right.
Yeah.
which I can understand.
No,
for
when
your
you're committed.
person.
When you're committed.
But
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, like, I mean, from my own experiences, you know, in the past, I could say that there's been people that are maybe it's just a sexual relationship, and even though me being being a woman,
Hey, my point was
I
proven.
can keep it at that level. You know what I'm saying? I think it all just really comes down to a mutual understanding between you and that person.
For
and
sure.
if you do feel like you're going to get emotionally attached, or you feel like you're one of those types of people that will get emotionally attached, that's something that needs to be brought out to the table from the jump, and let that other person decide whether or not this is something I'm going to keep fucking with. Because people a lot of times will keep that, you know, underlying, start having some underlying feelings, even like, well, you know what I'm saying, start like making more of what it is than it is at that point. And it's like, I mean, I've definitely have been able to keep it at bay for just sex. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But I mean,
But not everybody's like you, Sister Mo. You're unique.
I'm saying, but
You're
my
fearfully
point-
and
my point-
wonderfully made.
Well, a lot of
my
people can
point
do
is
that.
There's people like that.
I know a lot of
He
people are
turned
like that.
that.
Like, there's a lot of people that get emotionally attached, but I'm here to tell you as well that there are people who don't get emotionally attached, both men and women.
Yeah, I'm
You know what
and
I'm
I'm like
saying?
100%,
emotional
100%,
person. And like I can
agree.
have sex without getting like emotional attached to that person.
I disagree with you, Lion.
That's I've had so many of those situations.
Hilarious.
I disagree, Lion.
Oh my God.
Because you're
So
one of the
you're
few
just gonna
men
tell
who
me,
are
Ryan?
very
Okay, I'm
emotional.
listening. I'm listening.
Tell Lionel about himself.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You're
I'm
one of the
saying.
very few men that are very emotional.
Yeah, and I can have sex without getting emotionally attached. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That perspective of yours is extremely biased to your own understanding and
Not at all.
experiences. Obviously, because I don't relate to that.
That's a
She
very
doesn't relate to
mature
that.
explanation.
He doesn't relate to that. So it's
What?
literally your
That was a
perspective.
mature explanation. I was just giving them props for that.
Oh.
It's true.
Boom,
It's,
JC. Take
It's not my perspective. It's what society portrays.
Nigga, what you think?
Yeah, let's talk about you.
Fuck society.
Let's talk about JC.
I already told you what I think. I don't
don't
think
wanna
Hoe
talk
Phase
about
Told us
is
what
necessary.
society think.
I don't think
Who
Hoe
the fuck
Phase
is
is
society?
necessary.
Who's
I
that?
don't think it's necessary. I believe if you want to know who you are, you got to trust yourself first, love yourself first, give yourself the attention to yourself first. Because if hey, and somebody once said, and you know, shout out to Mrs. Rolex Risky. She said,
Oh my
if you don't
God.
fuck with yourself, nobody gonna fuck with you.
no.
You know what I'm saying? So you definitely gotta see for yourself first. That's why I feel that the whole phase is very unnecessary.
They aren't hoeing to find themselves though. That's not the thing. It's like you can sexually liberate yourself and it's okay.
Yeah, cause it's either that or jack off.
So why
Give
back
them
then?
the
So
alternatives. Give them the alternatives.
back then, fornication was considered.
Oh, this nigga just said fornication.
But don't you have to be with someone to
no,
fornicate?
no, 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 no strings attached.
We're gonna bring it out.
Lord, let's
Back
Oh,
then,
my God.
fornication was considered something wrong. It was considered something bad.
And it was a horrible time.
Right? So why is it considered something good now?
Because them
What
niggas back then
changed?
wasn't getting no pussy. That's why
What
they made
changed?
fornication
No.
illegal. Like, it was
What
fucked up,
changed?
man.
You
We
know
fucked
you know what changed? The standards.
Oh God.
The standards changed. That's it.
But you know what? A lot of
And
things
I'm
are
not saying,
acceptable
I'm
back
not
then
saying,
that
I'm
aren't
not
now.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is what's happening now. Everything is good now when it was bad back then. Why? Because the standards have changed.
Well, there was hella bad shit now back then that's like not a thing now. It's just,
Because the standards
it's just
have
the-
changed.
it's just the art
Marijuana
fucking
was
spinning and still
illegal.
orbiting.
Now it's legal.
well, that was an agenda. Don't talk about marijuana. I know. I'm like,
bringing up weed, bro.
I'm like, don't bring marijuana up because that was somebody's agenda. That was someone's thought out agenda.
Drugs, okay, I'm all
You're talking about you're comparing the world just spinning to like someone having an agenda. Like things that are
It's not about anybody
considered
having
bad.
one agenda.
You know,
It's
women
about-
having shorts on was considered bad at one point.
What?
Women and boys going to the same school was considered bad at one point. Like,
And what stayed? What changed?
I mean, obviously the world
The
kept
fucking
spinning.
standards changed.
The world kept spinning, JC.
The standards.
Just like in 50
so the world
years.
spins because the standards change.
Why are you so against hoeing?
I'm not a.
This is what I want
So
to know.
this is what I'm saying.
happened? Like,
This is what I'm saying. The reason why I'm against it is
not a bad
obviously
thing that
because
the
of the way I
standards
grew up,
changed.
my traditions, my customs, or whatever. But what I'm saying today is
Puerto Rico?
the reason why it's something free today or something acceptable today is because the standards have changed. Yes, it was done in the past, but people were more frowned upon in the past because it was something that they shunned out. Now they accept it. Now they're like, hey, it's happening.
People were
it's
told who
whatever.
to be back
It's a
then.
fad. It's a trend.
People
it's
were
whatever you
boxed
want to
in.
call
something
it.
that they can't stop.
People
So
were
at that
boxed
point,
in,
it's
told who to be.
That's why they
Women
changed their
couldn't even
standards
show their
because
skin.
they
Jump
know.
in because this shit became political. I feel like we're going through an election.
Oh,
On a lighter note, let me ask this
Yeah.
question, okay? Jesus Christ, I feel like we're gonna start having an election in this bitch. On a lighter note, right? Because I believe the whole phase, I think you hit the right word, a liberating phase, right?
It's that for sure.
I use a little bit of
It can be liberating.
I use a degenerate phrase of you got two choices. You can either jack off or have sex with somebody else. But let's say in going through said whole phase, because in my brain, before I became enlightened by the plight of the LGBTQ community,
This
I always thought that the
This nigga
whole
have
phase
a
in
rainbow
college,
headband
I thought that the whole phase in college also consisted of women having a bisexual experience. Right? I always thought that was a part of every woman's whole phase. Is that at some point,
Oh, I
when
see,
they're in
I
college
see what
years,
you- I
they're
see.
gonna have sex with their best friend that they came in drunk together that night.
Yeah.
you ever kissed a girl, Mo?
Huh?
You ever kissed a girl?
I have,
See?
Did you like it?
but I don't.
Her cherry chapstick?
Katy Perry. Katy Perry.
Yeah, boom, boom. Hell yeah.
I don't think like bisexual experiences is limited to just the whole phase.
I'm with you, but here's where I was going with that though, because I think that that most men, I'm not gonna say all, not all, but most men would find that somewhat acceptable. Like, yeah, you know, in college, yeah, she, you know, her and her best friend or one of her girlfriends messed around.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I don't think it's as acceptable if a woman finds out that her guy used to play sports.
Right.
I mean, shit, I don't blame her.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
Hey, yo, I dated a
that's-
chick that was okay with that one time.
Really?
Of course, she was Yakubian. I mean, come on. That's
She was what?
Yakubian. Yeah, white. She was
Yakubian.
a white woman.
Oh
White
shit.
woman.
Okay.
Come on, man. You ain't militant.
I'm like-
No, he get his militant minute gone. He don't even know what a Yakub is. This nigga's
I've
not
never
ready.
heard that term before. Okay.
Yeah, oh God, what about
What do
Alabaster?
you think, Mo?
Anyway, hold on, now let me see. Yeah, the dude, he was actually a bottom too. That's
Hold
what
on,
fucked me up.
Oh,
He
shit, I
was a
see.
bottom.
I'm not laughing at
Oh
bottom left.
I
man.
see.
Yeah, and I'm like, you think
Yeah.
he can recover from that?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
And lo and behold, after their relationship, when me and her started fucking around, and shortly after that, he went up, like straight to dudes. Like,
Oh, I
and
see.
I'm like,
I see.
you were crazy for thinking that. Damn, that shit
Yeah.
was weird.
Okay.
Like that shit was weird.
I don't know.
See?
How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that, Mo?
See?
If you find out that find out that your
If your man
current
shines
boyfriend
somebody
right
silver,
now
It was just,
was polishing
you know what I'm
knobs.
saying? I just jerked the
mean,
nigga off. You know what I'm saying? He ain't
Yeah.
coming nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It was all good. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen.
I mean, I feel like if a man has that experience for himself, then I mean, more power to you. But would I continue on with somebody? Probably not.
I understand the double
you
standard.
see?
Yeah.
My theory is correct.
Yeah, that definitely is a double standard.
It is a
there, 'cause
double standard
for-
with that,
I don't,
right?
and yeah, like for me, of course, that's not even like I don't even think twice. Like, okay, great,
because of
you experienced that,
society,
fine.
Don't bring up society no more. That's a trigger word. Okay, there's a fucking trigger word.
I mean, whenever it comes to Americans though.
But
I mean,
right, because I can ask all
men with men is very
Yes.
much frowned upon. Men are very
Yes.
have very what's the word?
There's definitely
Fragile masculinity, is that the word?
Yeah,
I don't agree with bashing masculinity.
But I'm just saying though, if
I
somebody,
like mine toxic, to be honest.
if it was the other way around, if your lady told you that in college I was with my little hoe, I had sex with a woman, you wouldn't even think twice. You'd be like, yes, we're going for dinner tonight.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even like consider that shit a big deal.
Actually, would invite her. Like,
it
you
would
still
be
have her
like,
number?
do you want to do that? Or were you thinking about doing that again?
Right.
Like,
You might be like, yo, this is a gateway. She wants me to get.
Vice versa, that would be like a huge hold the fuck up. What's going on?
There's definitely a double standard.
It is a major double standard in that.
But yeah.
I mean, that's just I couldn't see nobody coming back from that either though. Like, you suck the dick, like nigga, you can't unsuck that dick. Why don't you even tell your girl that? Like, nigga, leave that alone. Some people gotta learn not to like
That's
shut the
what
fuck
we said.
up.
The whole phase should just go to the grave with you. All your
Depends on who you talk to. You can talk to me about it.
Or you can talk to Blake. Call him at 555. I'm just saying.
It's a reform, man. Like, if we wanted to be serious and you out of that shit, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
Blake said there's no coming back from being the bottom. So next time
There's no coming back from that. It's over for you. Dead in these streets.
There's still some hope. You're saying, but hold on. Let me say, we're saying this respectfully.
Hey man, fuck out of here. I'm just saying it. I don't give a fuck how you feel. I was saying being the top and then going back to dudes. If you was in prison, possibly, because people do be gay for the stay and shit like that.
There's no telling what goes on in prison. That's like a different world.
Yeah, people be. You never heard that? Yeah, gay for the stay and shit like that. People do that. Yeah. Like on ATL, like this dude was talking. Like you ever seen that? I'm gonna show you that clip. I don't want to explain it because it's all fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? You ever watch Atlanta?
Yeah.
Well, this is some old shit. Yeah,
Oh,
but
like
I'll show you the
the
clip.
series.
Yeah, it's different though.
Okay.
I don't know if you can come back from that, but I mean, I've never done this shit. Like, I'm so not gay. Like, dude, I'm a dude.
So not gay.
So not fucking gay, bro. Like, but like, yeah, you can't come back from being the bottom. Being the top, like I say, if he was in jail, them niggas be getting down like that.
I don't know, but then I think for me, it's more so like
It's acceptable?
Just don't tell nobody,
I
man.
don't feel
Fuck that.
comfortable.
It's acceptable?
I mean, I'm gonna get kind of graphic.
Let's talk about it.
But
It's acceptable?
I'm
Hold on,
not,
damn, Jason.
no matter if it's a man or a woman at that point that maybe he had been with, I'm not very comfortable with like anal sex. I am not one that's like, even if a man told me that he's had anal sex with other women before, that honestly kind of rubs me the wrong way. And that's just me personally.
That's interesting.
You think that's
I
a gateway?
I don't like that. Like, I don't
think
know.
that's a gateway.
And I guess because, I mean, a little bit being said, I've never done anal before, so I don't plan on it. So it's like, that's something whether
Just
it's
haven't
like
met the right
man
person.
or woman, I don't, that just kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like, I don't
freaks
think
you
that's,
out?
We looking at her sideways?
It's like you don't have to, because right here is where
Yeah, I
like
don't-
magic is.
I don't
I was
see the
like, what
purpose.
is that?
A man want to put his dick in all women's holes.
I don't
Like,
see
why
the
put my
purpose.
dick in your
I
ear
don't
if it's
see
big
the-
enough?
The point.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, but
Yeah,
but I
like-
don't
If
know.
you
think
do anal
that's-
sex, anal sex.
And it works.
So you think that's a gateway to?
I'm not saying it's a gateway at all. To me, it's just nasty. So if you did it with a man, you did it with a woman. Like, I mean, that's really what it's coming down to. I feel like. I mean, that's to me. That's just nasty. Like, I don't.
It can get messy.
Nigga said it can
Ew.
get messy.
Yeah.
Ew. Okay, that's
Yeah.
gross.
Talk
Now,
about it.
but
Tell
that's
us
that's
about
talking
it.
about
But there's
I
people
just
that's
really-
completely,
We're talking about eating ass.
they completely comfortable eating ass. So yeah, just
I would say eating
imagine
ass is
that ain't no
something
thing for
different,
people.
in my opinion.
That's really hypocritical of you.
I was about to say that shit just now.
Very fucking
Thank you. I was about to say it right now.
Oh
You do a
wait,
rim job, but you can't penetrate a booty hole. Like, I mean, a woman's ass.
But
A woman's ass.
You're inserting your shit. That's nasty to me. But I
You
mean,
know the steps they go through to get
but
that
I
all
mean,
out of their
at that point, if
intestines.
you know, giving a woman head
It's
and
a
stuff like that,
procedure.
and it just happens to kind of go a little bit, let's go back.
So you can't purposely eat ass. You got to accidentally slip up on some
No,
ass.
you can purposely
In
eat
your
ass.
world. Fuck
You
outta
can.
here. Look, man.
You're not sticking shit in there.
Nigga said you gotta slip up on some.
Yeah, I got to slip up on some ass. My comedian homeboy said he did that one time. So I slipped up on some ass one time. I was like,
yeah, I've
"It's so
heard that
bad."
too. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine like just doing that though.
You ain't never ate ass?
I haven't.
You ain't really had no hoe phase.
I can't imagine doing
Y'all
that.
niggas is conservative in this room. Y'all make me feel like I'm a hoe.
I don't know. It's
Niggas
like
ain't-
a mo
niggas ain't-
thing.
niggas
like
ain't
the
anal
booty
sex in
hole,
there.
that's
Niggas
just
ain't
like,
eating
why would I
ass,
be-
like-
Now look, now I said
That's crazy for
penetration.
me.
I'm with. Hey, listen. I'm with. Now y'all making me be with Blake. What's the point of it? Y'all just having just
Too many
missionary
Christians
sex?
in this. I'm saying vanilla than a motherfucker.
Y'all doing some
Niggas
missionary.
is vanilla, man.
That's not a whole phase missionary.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just not into putting my tongue into the ass. I mean, I can see how you can grow. I mean, I don't know.
He into loving a bitch after 2 days, but he can't spread the ass cheeks open and lick the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Fuck out of here, nigga.
I'm sorry.
Straight up, like.
My focus is the clitoris.
That's his
when I'm
focus.
eating, when I'm licking, that's my focus. Like I'm not thinking
What
about
if it's
a butt.
slippery and like most of like it's slippery and you just fall down there and you there now.
Then that's understandable. I mean, you just happen to like it. If you slip, then you like it, and then you go there. I mean, that's your preference, whatever.
You never seen a bitch
I
wiggle when
I
you
can't
do it.
even
That's what
imagine.
happened. Like,
It's like a moment. It's like something going like.
I feel like that's how it would have to
At this
happen.
moment, what happens now?
I know. I feel like it would have to happen like
So where
that.
do we go from here?
Wait till you get older, nigga. You'll be
Okay,
eating
so
ass.
do you just go straight to the ass? Like you just go straight
Go
to
straight
it?
to ass?
You just go straight to it, and it's not like you slipped and
I mean,
then.
nigga, it's not no process. I'm not gonna get what you want me to make you more comfortable when you do finally try it.
I'm just like wondering how that happened.
Taking mental
No, I'm
notes?
wondering like, what's your mental thing? Like you,
Yeah,
like I
like
want to
that.
eat this ass. I can't wait to spread those cheeks and get in that fucking asshole. Like, what are you thinking? Or do you like slip?
Same
like,
thing you
like,
thinking when you love bitches after 2 days of knowing them.
When you what?
That's the same. That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, when you what?
No, like, dude, it's just something that happens. It's a part of sex sometimes. I mean, you know, it's not like you go out there like, yeah, I'm gonna find some ass to eat. Like, quit being goofy. Like, no.
Well, no, that's the thing. There's people are into that. Seriously, that's why I'm wondering because I
think
can't
that's
even
more
fathom.
fetish,
I can't
though. don't
even
think we talking about
imagine.
like fetish because people into like getting jacked off people's feet. I don't think we talking about like fetish. I think we just.
Well, I think that's
We're not
kind
gonna
of a
kink
fetish
shame. Y'all
overall.
kink shaming in this
I'm
hoe?
not. I'm
No.
just, I'm not.
I'm
at all.
trying to. I'm just
Oh my
wondering,
God.
like, so when you're having this, like, is it a situation to where
I
your
don't want to be
slips,
educated on what
your
happened
tongue
on
slips
the
down there, or
artist
do you just
No,
turn her
like,
over,
no.
open those
There-
cheeks,
This
and
is the
go?
most immature I've heard him
Go
sound.
straight to eating ass. Or just like while they already down there, like, I'm eat that.
And that's what I'm saying. I can't
Justify
fathom
bitches
that.
hoeing, but he can't understand a nigga that just
I mean,
ass
that's
every
what
once in a
they
while.
can. There's a lot of men that
How is
don't-
this
they
not
don't-
Yeah, I'm just
understandable?
not there. I'm just not there. I can't
Hold on, so
fathom.
you, yeah,
will
wait,
be.
wait. You gave a whole liberation speech
The
about
bitches can be
free sex.
liberated.
For,
About
that's
being
fine.
liberated.
You can be liberated. I'm just not there. I haven't gotten to. I'm not liberated
Not
enough.
that liberated.
So yeah, I haven't
So
liberated.
you can't be talking about something that you haven't even experienced.
Well, I'm asking questions, JC. I ask questions.
Listen,
I can't ask a
listen,
question.
I'm out.
I said,
I'm
how
out.
does one get
I'm
into?
out.
I said, how does one get into eating the
Negative.
ass? Does
Listen,
it slip
you
up
have
and
no more
happen?
say.
You turn her over.
You have no more say.
It's not
You can't-
understandable. Like,
You can't
eating
talk
ass.
about something you've never experienced.
JC,
Listen,
I ask
me-
questions.
sounds
I said I
dirty.
can't fathom this.
you
I
can
ask questions.
You can ask questions, but
I understand
the
that I
minute-
can't speak on something I haven't experienced.
Okay, so then.
So I'm not. I'm
So
trying
you
to
can't
get
talk
educated.
about
I'm
you
trying to
can't
catch
talk about
up 'cause I'm
liberating
behind.
anything if you've never experienced anything. That's what I'm saying.
What do
bro.
you? Okay, JC.
Hey, yo, JC, what society think about eating ass?
Experience is
Ass
never
eating has no
improvised.
correlation to a whole
Why
thing.
would
I'm
anybody
sorry.
do
That's
that,
fucking
JC?
disgusting.
Experience is never improvised. It's
Ass eating
never
has no
improvised.
correlation to a whole phase. I'm sorry.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I think it can be a part of it.
It can be a part of it, but it's not like
It's
whole
not a-
phase, ass eating. That's not the fucking thing. Everybody's not eating ass. I promise you that. That's
No,
like almost
everybody's not
taboo.
eating
Like,
ass.
that's-
In 2019, I think the percentages are pretty high though.
I mean, they're going up.
We ain't gonna kink shame in this hoe. I swear to God.
We're not. I'm just saying
Right.
that's not correlated.
That's what's going on.
I'm not saying that you can't do it. That's not. People have preferences. Some
But that
people
could be something
prefer the
that, like,
ass.
see, my biggest takeaway from the whole phase is I think, like me as a man of a certain age now, I'm happily married. But if I wasn't, I wouldn't want to deal with a woman who went through a whole phase. 'Cause I think a whole phase is necessary because it allows you to get some sexual experience. Because I don't want to deal with a motherfucker who ain't there. I'm like, I ain't got time to show. No, like if you don't know we ain't got time for all that at this point, at this age, goddamn it. You should be able to knock all that shit out of the way and know when you need to lift your leg. Because I ain't got, goddamn, I got to tell you that.
Yeah.
So that's why that type of shit is like, in my opinion, that shit is necessary. It's like practicing. I played ball in college, so you got to practice, motherfucker. And you know what I'm saying? Some people make it to the NBA. You know what I mean? And, you know, when you get there. If not, it is a such thing, though, JC, to your point, that's on-the-job training.
Yeah.
I'm just not a person who likes to train on the job.
And I'm
I
saying
like to
just
come
be-
in with some experience.
Yeah.
Everybody has different training styles.
Exactly, and if just because you're at practice doesn't mean that you got to throw alley hoops all the fucking time. Doesn't mean that you're,
Although I do like
you know,
to
like come on. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you though. No, I'm with you. But that was my central takeaway of the whole phase. Is that I think in the long run, let me ask Mo, because she's a woman. Would you want a dude when you got to whatever age that you wanted to settle down at who didn't go through any phase and who has a lot of
So I
sexual
gotta teach him
inexperience? Yeah, you might be. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you know, see.
It just depends, I guess, at that point. Because I'm like, if it's somebody I'm really trying to, you know.
So he's a
deal with,
legitimate
I
So
don't
you
question.
cheat
look
on
at
him. Just say it, Mo.
personality.
You cheat on him. Just
No,
say
no.
it.
So he's a
You would.
legitimate
Yeah,
question.
you'll
Jesus
eventually
Christ.
come around, but
So here's a legitimate
You gonna have
question.
to coach the nigga to like, damn, when you down there, nigga, just go ahead and lick the ass a little bit. Damn,
Just a little
nigga.
bit. Damn. Don't be scared. Looking ass.
In my experience, like, she can't even, like, close her mouth. She's, like, going crazy and having this crazy celestial experience. She's not even thinking
This
about, go to
nigga's
my
talking
ass,
about
daddy.
celestial
Go to my ass.
experience.
She's fucking, she's not even on earth right now. She's not thinking about no asshole. I'm just being honest. Like, I haven't even had to consider.
Celestial experience.
I was like, he
Celestial.
be bag mouth open, all of it.
Completely.
Those
With
girls-
just only the
You don't have time to
clit.
even
With
say
solely the clitoris. Solely. No butthole involved.
Just do the Muslim fingers.
No
solely the
asshole involved,
clitoris.
Blake. He can give her.
Hey man, I'm not here. I'm not a spokesperson for eating ass, my nigga. Like I don't know why he directing that energy toward me.
That was
I swear to
not
God,
directed
like,
to
yo,
anyone. Not at all.
I made cool, my nigga. Like I'm not trying to.
That
convert
wasn't
you.
directed
We
to
don't need
anyone.
you in this.
No,
we don't
that's
need
just
you in
a-
our organization, my nigga.
Listen, that wasn't okay.
Like, my nigga, like,
That wasn't. It wasn't directed to you at all. It was a response actually to the fact that you can't be. How can you be liberated and you don't even eat ass? You haven't even tried that. You don't have to fucking try that to be
We're taking that shit
liberated.
so serious, boss.
How did we get there? How did we
I
get
mean,
there?
but if you,
I'm just having a conversation. I'm responding to what you guys are
you
saying.
know what I'm
man.
saying?
Mo's like, I know, but nigga, you ain't never had it.
I mean, but that's the thing. I can't fathom. I can't fathom like sticking my tongue in a butthole right now.
The difference in sex.
Hey, what's your take? What's your take? Get in the live chat. Let us
When
know.
I was younger,
Let
there was
us
a point when I
know- let
couldn't
us know
fathom
whether
even eating
eating
a
ass is a
vagina.
part of the whole phase
But
or
hey,
not.
here I am.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
We good, man.
But I'm not knocking. I was asking questions.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I'm not your tutor, nigga.
You're just not there yet. You're not there
fuck is
yet.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
there yet.
When it comes to things like that, I mean, everybody is a little bit different.
Yeah,
But
it's levels to it. Shout out to me.
some
man.
women may not.
Blake, don't think I'm talking to you. This is to the live chat. This is to my guys. This is to my guys.
So
It's
Mo-
not a Blake and
Mo
live
doesn't
conversation.
Like anal penetration. It's a lot of women out there that like anal penetration. It's
Yeah.
just different strokes for different folks.
Exactly. Like
But
shit.
that's why it's
Exactly.
different levels to the whole phase,
That's-
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes you don't know. Listen, I always tell people sometimes you don't know what you like, what you don't like until you're like, whoa, that was a bridge too far. Like,
Too
what's
sad.
happened there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, why do y'all think I know that I don't like anal sex?
To your business, Mo, but did you have KY?
No, share that shit. What's going on? He probably didn't do it right. He probably just tried to go in there like
Yeah,
that.
that
Like, he
nigga
didn't, like
just,
ease
that
it
nigga
in.
just
Like,
used some spit and shit. Yeah, nigga,
yeah, I mean it can work sometimes depending on how much
Just,
you know.
no.
Hug a loogie and
I wouldn't try it again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try it
You know
again.
what I'm saying?
Mo's like, no.
Say, I'm
that's
tapped
a hard
out.
pass.
I'm good off that. I'm super good.
But
Yeah,
no,
but
but,
yeah.
okay, let's just bring this shit to a Christian. Well, we already came to a Christian. Let's bring it down and get ready to wrap this shit up. So I'm just saying, like, the whole phase is different levels to it, different stuff. I think it's a time just to like have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There will be people that argue that, you know, humans aren't supposed to be with just one person. There are people that argue that point. They'll say, you know, not necessarily like you just meant to be with one person. People believe that, you know, kind of, I guess, not necessarily like in a polygamy mindset, but that they just don't believe you're supposed to just be with one person. And I mean, I think as humans, it's natural for us to want to have sex and like have casual sex, be with different people and things like that, have different experiences, because at the end of the day, we're all just human. At the point of sex is really to reproduce, and that's something to keep our own population alive. So
It's
at the end of the day,
manifest.
like it's just you know, you don't even gotta really think too much into it. Like it's not that much to be trying to get into and think super deep about it. Like it's sex. Like I mean, people now, you know. It just depends, you know what I'm saying? It can't be. I mean, whenever it comes to being in a relationship, it's not just sex at that point, I guess.
Yeah, you can manifest
I mean,
some shit with sex.
When it
when
comes
you
to like
can- you know,
whole phases, yeah,
it's a lot of
definitely
energy.
Just, you got to keep it at that light level of just, you know, I'm just having fun, I'm having sex, and this is, you know, to keep myself at bay. So I'm not at home, you know, DJing the set out every night. You're out there beating it off every night. You know what I'm saying? So. have fun, do
DJ
you.
said, that took me a while to get it.
It took me a while to get it.
He said, huh?
I don't even know what happened.
Have fun, y'all.
Damn
You know
it.
what I'm saying? You only live one life. You know
Ultimately.
what I'm saying? Don't go and, you know, get married super young. I mean, you can do that, but don't
You
double
always
down
end
on it,
divorce.
because at the end of the day, it's like you don't want to live your life as like, what if I would have did that? What if I would have experienced this? I wonder what that is like. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's something that you're curious about, do the shit. Shit, who gives a fuck? It's your life. At the end of the day, like.
Yeah.
Nobody
All the
should have
while
to say
staying
anything, tell you
safe and,
anything.
like,
If
protecting
somebody feels
yourself
some
and
type of way
protecting the
about how
world.
you live in your life, then that's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Unless it's all on camera and on Pornhub.
Oh, we didn't talk about that part of the whole phase, though.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like if you fucked around and did porn for a second, ain't no
Okay,
coming back
that's-
from that
You,
shit.
yeah.
Completely different ball.
You know what I'm
That's-
saying?
oh my
Like,
God,
yo,
yeah.
I think
He's
people need to
into
stop.
it.
I think people need to stop taping sex because somehow.
just don't do it with the face in it.
Huh?
Just not with the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
probably
the way you
good.
do it.
I got birthmarks in certain spots.
Or
so I
just don't.
Oh, and then chicks be having tattoos. I just don't show that to nobody. But
Yeah.
if I show it to you, you
Yeah,
know
that's
her.
the thing. Is it like for a personal collection?
Yeah, my personal collections are a little different, but some people don't got the what's it called?
Just make sure you trust the motherfucker.
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
That's what it comes down
Posted.
to. People be getting
People just
pissed.
like, oh look, Brad, look,
Yeah.
I want to show everybody what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
No. If you
Yeah,
doing
that's-
some shit like that, you don't need to be recording sex. Period.
Yeah, you should be, I think everybody should stop in 2019. All right, let's get wrap this shit up. So talk to me, Lionel. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts on Hoe Phase.
Yeah. Final thoughts on Hoe Phase is period. Liberate yourself. Like that's it. Don't let anybody box you and think that you're anything because you're single and you want to do what you do. Like it's okay. Just be safe for real. Protect yourself and protect the world. Like that shit is
Do it
real.
responsibly, right?
That's the ultimate thing. So yeah.
Mo, Hoe Phase.
You already know what I think.
All right.
Y'all go ahead.
Moving the
Do
fuck
it.
on.
You live your life. Like damn, it's just people have too many opinions about what other people do, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I'm a big person about minding your business. If somebody out there doing what they want to do, that's them. I'm always just say that's them. So if you feel like you need a whole phase, I feel like it's necessary, you know, for every person to kind of go through one in order to be able to get to that point where you want to settle down and be with one person, like, because you got to get that out your system.
There you go. Blake, holla at me. Chris Blake.
I mean, shit, man. Just do you. Have fun with it. Don't wear condoms. Fuck everybody. Raw. Like, what's the fuck with you? Nah, just seriously though. Just,
Every
yeah.
Play yourself.
Yeah, nah, I'm joking. But if you do it, that's on your dumb ass. But yeah, like, just have fun, man. Like, I wouldn't judge you. Anybody who does judge you, just make sure you know who you fucking with, too. Because you can't tell that to everybody. Just keep it to yourself if you know it's somebody who you're dealing with that's conservative. Just don't tell them. Just get it out your system and move on with your life. You really don't have to tell
That's
nobody,
a
in
good
my
point.
opinion.
True.
Just leave it up. Just leave it. Yo, leave it where it is. Leave that
That's
shit
nobody's
alone.
business.
Everybody ain't me, man. It's rare, especially in the black community. Even though I'm no black poppy, but still, just do you. You know what I'm saying? Like, have fun with it, man.
All right.
Yeah.
JC. Hoe Phase. That's it? Nothing?
He out.
All right. Deuces. Nothing. All right. Let me say this. Let me wrap it up with this. Let me shout out to Tamara in the live chat. She said a Hoe Phase depends on one's personal, individual, emotional intelligence.
Hell.
There is no end all be all rule for everyone, which I totally agree with. So I think that's actually a good way to end it. There is no, one thing for a Hoe Phase. The Hoe Phase is different for everybody. We talked about. I'm glad that on this panel we didn't be super misogynistic and just put it on the women. Although that is the stereotype, right? Is that women go through a Hoe Phase, but to most point, dudes have a Hoe Phase as well, right?
Man, that shit ain't no whole phase. That nigga just getting pussy. He cool.
He is just getting pussy, and he is cool. So shout out to him. But whether you getting pussy or dick, shout out to my LGBTQ.
Just get the rainbow headband and represent every
And
week.
the t-shirt.
We just want everybody to do it responsibly, man. Have fun, right, in life. You only come this way one time. From what I heard, we all can go out through the morgue anyway. So enjoy yourself. Do it respectfully. If you have some religious things about it, man, everybody respect everything. But at the end of the day, you want to experience some things in life. To Mo's point, what she made earlier, you don't want to grow up and be like, man, I wish I would have did this. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's too late. You can't be 60 talking about you got a Hoe Phase.
And trying to liberate.
Oh, no.
Like,
in the
that's
old folks
too
home, they
late.
do that, though.
There is
There's a high STD rate in the old
STDs
folks'
in the
home.
old folks' home.
Retirement community,
Y'all
damn.
nasty.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a high STD rate in the
Are they
retirement
eating ass
community.
in
Like
old folks'
chlamydia.
home?
I'm pretty sure they are.
But it's like wrinkled and like,
I'm like, wait, stop.
Like,
Please,
how's
I don't really want to visualize that.
I don't need a
I
visual.
don't really want to visualize that. Yeah. Nah,
What a
nah.
statistic.
is that a bridge too far?
That's a soft off.
Little-
Like,
okay.
yeah,
Little-
it's a way to fuck
Yeah,
up my
it
might be
stomach, and
too
I ain't
late
even
to
ate shit.
liberate.
Y'all niggas ain't even really hoes out here.
No,
All
it's
right,
never
man,
too
let's
late
Watch
to
old
liberate.
people porn. So search.
I know the old people are pissed at us
interracial.
right now.
Hey, we talk about some experience. I want to see experience out here. Hey, listen, man, we get ready to get the hell up out of here. Holla at us. We got the podcast. It's on iTunes available, man. It gets uploaded whenever the hell I upload it. Like Thursdays. Next Wednesday we back. I don't know if Bree gonna be here or not. We might vote her off the island. We got something next coming for y'all, man. Y'all stay tuned to the channel. We got some more stuff coming. Me and Bree gonna meet after this. I mean, not Bree and Bree. Well, we're supposed to meet Bree and Mo, but me and Mo are gonna meet after the show. Talk about the social media. We get that popping. Also with
I
Lionel.
logged in last night. So
See, there we go.
it's a step towards the right
sure.
direction.
That's 1 foot. And then Lionel be on the lookout. He got that militant minute popping that JC don't like.
Coming.
Because he talking about blackness. points. Maybe Jason.
Coming.
This
Oh
nigga.
damn!
The Puerto Rican.
You better
He
get
out
that
cold
shit
with
out
that.
of
The
here.
Puerto Rican point. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Get off my man Jay Z, man. The
But we gonna get it popping, man. So y'all stay tuned. Keep it locked. Rate, comment, subscribe. Also, like I said, man, hit us up on iTunes in the podcast section there. The shit will be going up as well on what's the other shit that's going on? What's the other shit?
What?
SoundCloud. It'll be on SoundCloud too.
SoundCloud,
Right? For whatever
okay.
reason, we've been neglecting the SoundCloud. We're gonna start posting it there too. Holla at us, man. No String Attached. We out.
Peace.
Bet.
Bye.
No, Bama.